What's up YouTube, Dale here from Zephyr, and today I am bringing you an update to Blue Eyes White Dragon. This time it involves the Dragon Master Magia. Now that is slightly more accessible and no longer being £600 to £1,000. Unfortunately it is still around about £50 and up, depending on what rarity you want to go for. It was a little bit cheaper on pre-release. They were started at 25, they went to 35, and now they're kind of floating around 50, but they might get a little bit cheaper over time, so it is one to keep your eye out on. At the end of the video as well, I'll show you my personal route of making this with a 1.5 card combo. I'm also going to do a dedicated combo video to show you all the different ways you can make Dragon Master Magia as well, so you can pick and choose which one prefers to line up with your strategy. With all of that out of the way, please smash that like button, hit that notification bell, and subscribe so you don't miss out on any more upcoming content. So diving headfirst into the profile, we do start off with 2 Blue Eyes White Dragon and the 1 Blue Eyes Jet Dragon. You can change out the Blue Eyes Jet Dragon as you see fit to personal preference. Some people don't like to use it. I personally quite like it. It does come up quite a few times and it does put in a little bit of work. Then of course we do play the 1 Blue Eyes Chaos Max. Now this is the Chaos card of your choosing. You can go down the Illusion of Chaos route. You can also go down the Blackluster Soldier route. It really is up to you. I just like the option. Yes, of course you can technically summon out your Blackluster Soldier, and you can of course technically summon out your Blue Eyes Chaos Max with the graveyard effect of Majesty. But I quite like the idea of keeping it Blue Eyes themed while also being able to summon out the Chaos Max as an insanely powerful boss monster should I want to later on. The other thing that I should mention about this profile is this is just full-on Blue Eyes. There's no additional engine like Primites, Invoked, or anything like that. But you can adapt that to your own personal playstyle and preference. You can add in more cards that will be an ideal normal summon to give you a bit more protection, to even line you up with a bit more aggression should you choose to. Then of course we do have the standard of the triple Sages with the triple Maiden. And the big difference on this one is we are playing the 1 Neo Kaiser Seahorse and the 1 Priestess with Eyes of Blue. Now what you need to keep in mind of these is both of these are technical starters for the deck as well, but ideally what you're going to want to do is with the Priestess you need to use Mausoleum or even Sage to target it, and this will give you direct access to search you out your Blue Eyes Chaos Max. As an additional bonus it can also search you out your Jet Dragon should you wish to. The benefit of something like the Neo Kaiser Seahorse is it lets you, if it's sent from the field to the grave, you get to send a Blue Eyes monster or a monster that mentions Blue Eyes White Dragon. The benefit of that is that Dragon Master Magia, when you try to summon it with the Ultimate Fusion, this is going to allow you to utilize your graveyard. So you don't mind where your Blue Eyes Chaos Dragon is, as long as it is in either your hand or graveyard or even on your field sometimes. That will then give you the option in order to work your way into, of course, the Dragon Master Magia. Moving on to the spell cards for the Blue Eyes, of course, we are playing 3 Wishes. So this is the card that can work you into your Priestess. If you already hard open up the Priestess, that's absolutely fine. Yes, it does use up one of your normal summons, so that's where you're going to get a little bit more benefit, and that's why we play the Neo Kaiser Seahorse. Obviously, the downside of Neo Kaiser is it's not directly searchable unless you get it through Bestial Magnamut. The idea is that Priestess is your ideal one. From the combo that I'll show you at the end, it's basically Sage plus any discard, works you into the combo that gets to it. Then of course there are different routes, as I've mentioned before, where it lets you go through Ancient Fairy Dragon, you work your way into the Gateway of Chaos, or you can work your way into Dragon's Ravine. You also have the Nadir Servant route as well, which I quite like because it's one of them ones that you can do at the end of all of your combo. So you can bait out all of your opponent's interactions, and then you get to a point where you go, cool, I've done all my interactions, maybe I don't have that good of an end field, but I can still just go, right, Nadir Servant, and then work my way for that, and it adds you a little bit more draw power. And I'm going to show you that in a Blue Eyes Dogmatica version later on in the week. But I'll also show you the combo in a different video so you can have an idea of which one really kind of speaks to you the most. Then for the one-off spell cards, of course, we do play the 1 Raw, the 1 Mausoleum, and of course the 1 Ultimate Fusion. This is the card that allows you to make Dragon Master Magia. You can play more if you want to, but honestly, I don't think you need to. There's ways that you can either set it off of your True Light, which gives you the ability to only summon Magia during your opponent's turn, because obviously if you set it for True Light as a quick play, you won't be able to activate it the turn it is set. Ideally, you're going to be searching this off the back of your Wishes with Eyes of Blue, as you still need your Wishes in the graveyard in order to get your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon from the extra deck to the graveyard. Then for the trap cards, of course, 1 Majesty, 1 True Light, and as a generic consistency card, we do play the 1 Pot of Prosperity. The extra is very flexible because we are just playing the full-on pure Blue Eyes route with this one. Again, that might change. The only other engine you can add into the deck that will allow you to keep the extra deck pretty much the same is if you wanted to go down the Primite route, but I feel that a lot of people, especially if you are looking to get your Dragon Master Magia, will probably prioritize that to a Primite because you're going to be wanting to play your Blue Eyes as a bit more of a fun. The Dragon Master Magia is a bit of a win more con right now. It's it's not a card that is so easy to make. It's not a card that you really need to go with your normal combo to make. You kind of go out of your own way in order to get to it, and there isn't really a version where it allows you to summon the Dragon Master Magia without adding in additional bricks. Like I said, Priestess and Blue Eyes Chaos Max are kind of like the closest to me that you're still playable. Whereas with the Gateway of Chaos, it still doesn't really help you if you hard open it. Yes, of course, you can still activate it, search out the card you need to, but you kind of want to be utilizing Ancient Fairy Dragon to help you do that. Whereas at least with Priestess, it's still a Blue Eyes monster, it's still a starter as a spellcaster, and it can still give you some more utility. And the only downside of it is you need to target with an effect, and that's when you're going to be able to utilize Sage and, of course, the Mausoleum, so you have two ways to do it. And then for the hand traps of this one, triple Ash Blossom, you adapt these as you see fit with Drow and Lockbird, 2 Nibiru, 2 Ghost Ogre, 2 Ghost Spell. I just think this is kind of a cool card to try out this format. If your opponent does get a little bit lazy and doesn't chain block correctly, it's also another way to kind of stop your opponent's True Light as well. Obviously, you'd want to Ghost Ogre your opponent's True Light, but I feel there are ways like Ghost Spell can also help you in a Fiendsmith matchup when they're trying to utilize either the Lacrimoire during your turn, or if they want to utilize the Engraver during their turn. I feel it's a card that kind of dips in and out of the format depending on how much people are prepared for it. More people will probably want to go for something like a DD Crow. You do have the ability to put Dominus Purge in here as well. It really is up to you. We've then got 2 Effect Veiler, followed up by 2 Bestials in the form of Magnemute and Druid Swarm. Obviously, currently, both of them are at 1, but I do still like the option because, again, quite like the DD Crow aspect, you still have the ability of Magnemute, banish from the graveyard, get you your Neo Kaiser Seahorse if you choose to, and then if you wanted to, you could open up the door to some Synchro level 10s. You could go down the route of a Chaos Angel, but the idea is that Magnemute would get you into your Neo Kaiser. Neo Kaiser then becomes that additional normal summon that you're going to need, or becomes that normal summon that is your additional starter. And then for the final hand traps, of course, triple Infinite Impermanence. Like I said, Purge is entirely up to you. If you own a playset of Purge, I would highly advise you fit it in here. If you're going to be doing that, you'll be cutting the cards that the attributes clash with. So you'd be taking out your Magnemute, the Druid Swarm, and then you'd possibly even be taking out maybe 1 Ash. It really is up to you. Moving on to the extra deck, I'm going to save the Master Magia till last, following off with the fusions. So obviously the 1 Star Slayer Typhon, this is a lot cheaper and a lot easier to get hold of. Again, if you don't have access to it, go and pick it up online. You can pick up like a super rare from Rarity Collection 4 right now for like £1. I picked up an ultimate rare one for £3, so they are really cheap and easy to get hold of. Obviously we do play 2 of the Spirits, followed up by the 1 Hieratic Seal and the 1 Liner, the Light Charmer. And then for the Synchros, we do play 2 Spirit Dragons. And then for the Spirit Dragon targets, we do play the 1 Ultimate Spirit Dragon, the 1 Lightstorm, and the 1 Black Rose Moonlight. We also do play the 1 Azure Eyes. Now you can choose whatever targets you want. You can choose to play Ancient Fairy Dragon into Crystal Wing, but that will then dictate whether you'll play the Priestess play that you're going to be making. You can also play some rank 8s if you want to. You can play some other targets. You can go down Crimson Dragon route now that it's been reprinted as a little bit cheaper and easier to access. You can then obviously play Cosmic Blazar Dragon if you want the cheapest alternative level 12 that your Crimson Dragon, can then summon out. Of course, if you own a Stardust Surf Dragon, by all means you can go for that route as well. And then for the final cards is, of course, the fusions. So we've still got the 1 Tyrant. I still have the 1 Neo Blue Eyes. I don't feel that you absolutely have to play this now. This is one of these cards that you can flex out for like an SP Little Knight, for the pure fact that you're replacing this ideally for your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Now the idea behind this is not only will you be able to equip it with your wishes, and then you link off your Blue Eyes, sync off your Blue Eyes, whatever, get this card to the graveyard. When you activate Ultimate Fusion, you're putting it back into the extra deck. So it means that if you activate wishes again the next turn, you still banish it, and then banish the wishes, equip this to a Blue Eyes, and then you can still make your Tyrant. So that's what works out really nicely. The only thing you're losing is the targeted protection effect, which sometimes comes up, sometimes doesn't. So it really is up to you if you want to open up that flex spot. But honestly, more times than not, when you're making the first wishes play, if you have options to make your Magia, you're going to be going for your Ultimate Dragon, not your Blue Eyes Neo. So that's one thing to keep in mind. And then, of course, we do play Dragon Master Magia. Now, the reason that you have to play your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon is that Dragon Master Magia lists specifically Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, not a Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon monster. If it listed Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon monster, you'd be able to use Neo. Unfortunately, it lists specifically Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, so you have to use that. The only other way that you can make this is it's Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon or 3 Blue Eyes monsters, which can be done considering you play Jet and 2 Blue Eyes, but more times than not, it's a lot easier, a lot more consistent to utilize your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. Yes, of course, Blue Eyes Ultimate Neo in the graveyard will also count, so will your Blue Eyes Tyrant Dragon, but you do then still need that 1 Chaos. So it's easier to do if you can flood that extra deck, flood the graveyard, because keeping in mind, 1 will be, obviously this isn't a Blue Eyes monster, really annoying me, but 1 would be like your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon, your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon, And then, of course, one would be either your Neo Ultimate or your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then the idea is that you'd be able to activate it a little bit more in the later game to grind it back. But it really is up to you on your preference. I just still quite like the Priestess because, like I said, it keeps the Blue Eyes theme. It keeps its easy access. It makes it a little bit consistent to do, which we'll see in the combo very shortly. So that's it for the entire profile. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to shuffle up. I'm going to utilize the 1.5 card combo that I've already shown you in a short, but I thought I'd put it in this profile so you have everything in one place. And then, like I said, I will show you all of the combos that can kind of come from the ways of making Magia in different versions, depending on which one appeals to you, and go from there. So I'll be back in a second. So the very simple 1.5 card combo consists of Sage and, of course, the random discard. There are different ways of being able to access the Sage, which is why we do play Pot of Prosperity. You also have the hard open up of your Blue Eyes Wishes. It just means that your combo needs to be a little bit different in order to do that, but you'll still get the ideal outgo. So you're going to start off by normal summoning down the Sage. The Sage will pretty much go directly for your Maiden. You're able to eat up more hand traps if you already hard open up some of the pieces like Maiden, like Priestess, like Ultimate Fusion. So it does give you a bit more flexibility to play through this. You can now choose to use Maiden's Effect to grab you your True Light. You can activate the True Light to set you your wishes. You can activate the wishes straight away by discarding the random card in order for you to grab Ultimate Fusion and, of course, your Priestess. Now what you want to do is turn your Sage into your Spirit with Eyes of Blue. Spirit with Eyes of Blue's effect to grab you the Mausoleum. Activating the Mausoleum, use your additional normal summon for Priestess, utilize Mausoleum's effect targeting Priestess, chaining Priestess's effect, which will allow you to grab 2 Blue Eyes monsters from the deck. So you're going to want to grab your Jet Dragon and, of course, your Chaos Max. Then in turn, this will tribute itself off, resolving the Mausoleum, sending Blue Eyes from deck to the grave. Now at this point here, what you can do is use Spirit's effect to tribute it off to bring back your Blue Eyes and bring back your Maiden. Then you need to make sure you banish the wishes from the graveyard first to equip your Blue Eyes White Dragon with your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. And then, of course, you can work your way into spheres if you want to, but something that's going to be a bit more common is you're going to synchro those off and go into a Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon. Now what you have the ability for is activating your Ultimate Fusion. This will then allow you to put back your Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon and the Chaos Max, so from the hand and from the graveyard, back to the extra deck and to the main deck, to summon out your Dragon Master Magia with 5,000 attack and 4,000 defense. So you still have Jet Dragon in your hand. You're still then going to have an additional 3 cards, which can be hand traps, they can be extenders, and this is going to give you the ability to revive a Blue Eyes during your opponent's turn off of True Light if you want to. You've got a Monster Negate, a Spell Negate, and a Trap Negate. You've also got the Negate from the graveyard of your Blue Eyes Spirit Dragon that can then ultimately tag out into either a Moonlight to bounce, an Azure Eyes to protect, a Light Storm to deal with back row, or of course if you just want that Omni Negate, you go for your Blue Eyes Ultimate Spirit Dragon. So you've got all of these different options. If anything gets destroyed, you still have your Jet Dragon as well, and you can kind of work your way from there. So that's it for the very basic 1.5 card combo. Like I said, I'm going to show you a dedicated combo video showing you this combo again, but then I'm also going to show you the Nadir Servant combo, I'm going to show you the Ancient Fairy combo, and then I'm going to talk you through different variations of each of those so you have an idea of what one will appeal to you the most, which engines you'll like to use, and I'll talk about their pros and their cons as we go through it. Anyway, thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share. Till next time, as absolutely always, stay safe, and of course, happy dueling.